You've advised cabinet ministers. How unusual is this kind of cabinet call?
This is exceptionally unusual. So outside of the Tuesday morning cabinet meeting, cabinet very rarely discusses things. So just the fact of a 7 p.m. or nearly 8 p.m. call is something that is quite serious. And as Sir William Patey was saying earlier, the level of the decision that is about to be taken will require some kind of discussion around the cabinet table to stamp some sort of authority on it. So I think we can judge from that the seriousness of what we're about to see.
How sort of concerned are you about it?
I think what it highlights is the extreme double standards. Here we are, the Houthis have been attacking shipping lanes, no deaths so far, thankfully. Israel's been bombarding Gaza for the last 3 months. Tens of thousands of people died, children being amputated without anaesthetic, and that's fine. No sanctions on Israel, no strikes against them, no arms embargo. But
I guess this is because this is against the UK target, though, right? Is that not?
It's because we don't care about international law or human rights. We have this rhetoric that we do, but we don't. This is absolute nonsense, and this whole conflict is exposing that. We say that, the Iran-backed Houthi rebels, well, they've been bombed by the US and UK-backed Saudi Arabia for the last 10 years. Actually, the last Labour administration was calling for sanctions on Saudi Arabia over this for an arms embargo. Hilary Benz, somebody who's serving under Keir Starmer, was leading this within the last shadow cabinet. So, we talk about this in completely bizarre ways that spins it into this sort of thing of one side is bad and the other side's crimes are airwashed. I mean, we've got a case in the International Court of Justice today brought by South Africa against Israel for genocide. We're not talking about that. We're talking about some interruption to shipping lanes. I mean, it's pretty small-scale stuff when tens of thousands of people are being killed. And, I don't care what adjective you call it, whether you call it a massacre, a slaughter, ethnic cleansing, genocide, it doesn't really much matter. Tens of thousands of people are being killed, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about some shipping lanes. It's perverse, really, and the rest of the world can see it.
Andrew, I recognise and respect your strength of feeling on this, and there'll be a lot of people who are watching this evening who will empathise and sympathise with your view. I think the only thing that I would say to that, and as glib as this may sound to you, is that we do have to deal with realpolitik. And the fact of the matter is that the Security Council passed a resolution on Wednesday that said its members could protect its own vessels, which is what we are attempting to do. And I understand that these things are linked. I do not for one moment separate what is happening in Israel, Gaza, from the impact of this more widely. But what is incumbent upon us is to be able to protect our interests, as Sam rightly pointed out in his report. It is about what is happening to industry.
My point. Our priority is to protect our interests, not to protect human rights or international law. We don't care about those things unless they coincide with our interests.
I don't think it's that we don't care about those things. I think it's important that they do coincide with our interests, but I also think that it's important that we take this moment where this actually, as we've said, as we can all see, this real tinderbox situation does not get any worse. And I also think that the UK government, alongside its US partner, needs to be very careful in its collaboration about whether it actually incites more violence in the region. Because if they do take a decision tonight that they are going to strike, we're going to have to try and understand in the aftermath what they have hit precisely. Because are we talking about potentially hitting civilian targets as well? How much collateral damage is there going to be? And there will be debate in the aftermath of that. But I don't think it is as clear-cut as to say that we only like our own interests and we don't care about what's happening with the humanitarian situation in Gaza.
Well, I think that's a false selling arms to Israel, and so is the US, so they don't care. If we cared, we'd stop it. Look at what we've done with Russia, where we disapprove of their occupation of Ukraine. We've put sanctions on them. We've put sanctions on key officials. We've expelled diplomats. We haven't done any of that with Israel because we think it's fine.
But Russia is a hostile state actor and has been for a very long time.
But that's my point. It's that you say our standards of human rights only apply because they're a bad actor, but because Israel's a good actor, an ally, it's fine for them to get away with human rights abuses. And I'm not criticising you.
No, look, we're having a discussion.
We're putting the British government view, which is what I'm saying is entirely partial. It doesn't believe in universal human rights. It believes in defending human rights where they coincide with our interests. Where they don't, they're completely disposable.
Can I just ask you...
Comment if you agree, or not, or just have any thoughts on this expression. Please avoid abusive use of language and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thank you.